Are we in the middle of a housing correction? Let's talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, Dreammakers, welcome to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and what you should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of mortgage and real estate news. Today in Mortgage, Rich back with me again, looking fly in that pink shirt today.
Woo! You can barely see me. It's like my head and my shirt just blend together.
I tell you what, if you are listening and not watching this, you are missing out. So, hey, Rich, I've got some indicators that I wanted to talk to you about today, and I've teed this up in the intro, housing correction. The article we're looking at today is National Mortgage Professional. It says housing correction gathers momentum as supply surges, affordability pressures persist. So, a lot in that headline, and this article does a good job of just hitting on a couple of the key indicators that are out there in the economy right now. So, I thought we'd go through some of them together. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, Rich, let's just talk a little bit about how stable the mortgage economy is right now. One of the things that points out in this first indicator is delinquency rates. So, what's going on with delinquencies right now?
Well, they're pretty stable. Some of the delinquencies have risen just a scotch. See, this is where things get all whacked, right? We just got a great employment number, last week, and everybody's like, oh, look at it, everything's fine. Well, half of that employment number was government jobs, remember?
Hmm.
So there are a lot of people with the lower FICO that did buy homes with FHA loans that are, man, they're struggling to get it together. Look what's happened to not just them, all homeowners. Never mind the high interest rate, but you've got homeowners insurance that's skyrocketing. You got property taxes because your neighbor's home sold for X, and so higher than what you bought yours for. Therefore, your tax base kind of goes up, so that's more in a monthly payment. It's just a lot going on right now, so it's expensive to live.
Yeah, so those delinquencies tick up a bit. Said about 100,000 more than this time last year. So that's significant, but like you said, not a
Not
crazy
really.
number. Second thing that's in this article, which is interesting because we talked about it a lot last year, student loan repayments have resumed,
Yeah.
and that is really hurting some people out there. What's going on with that?
That is, man, 5 years of no payments, right? A luxury once sample becomes a necessity. Instead of having to make all those payments that they were making before, they got a 5 year break. What do you do with all that extra money? You find a home for it.
Mm.
And that's what happened. That's a big thing. People are stretched thin right now. So they're jacking up their credit cards at these high interest rates. Now they got student loan debt due. And more importantly, student loan debt now being collected on. So they're having to negotiate repayment terms in collection. So it's, that's one of the things that doesn't go away, right?
Yeah,
Taxes and student loan debt, they don't go away.
that's definitely playing into it. The next piece also is a debt issue. Average debt to income ratio remains near record highs. Tell me about that.
I mean, look at credit card. Credit card debt is up uh, a ton because people are using credit at the high interest rates and those payments. Let's say you were carrying, $2,000 in revolving debt on a card where your payment was 50. Now it's a buck. It's $120. So, for people that are just getting by, that's a significant amount of money. So yeah, debt ratios are up.
It's definitely true. Let's talk about some of these next ones combined. So, talk to me about how inventory, pricing, demand, how that's shaking out right now. It's a very interesting topic right now.
So, Michael, you probably saw this today in my daily video out to our company. I ran across this graphic that was comparing pre-pandemic inventory, homes for sale in June of 2019 compared to where it is June just last month. And, there are many states like Arizona, 28% more listings than we had in June of 2019, 33% more than we had in June of 2019 in Texas, 28% more in Florida. There were just a few pockets like the southern states, and with the exception of Florida and the upper, northeast. They're just, I mean, some of those states are down 47%. So
Wow.
it's really tough to find a property up there, but it's softened just because people they're just wore Buyers are wore out, and sellers are stubborn. That's that's kind of where we are. And I think that's going to loosen up in the near future here.
So, Rich, that's interesting. When we're talking about buyer demand, and you kind of mentioned this, we have a lot of applications coming out right now. And so people looking, that's the demand piece of it. And then the inventory is just not the right inventory for that demand. Is that's what's happening right now? Why we have such high demand and high inventory?
Yeah, mostly. You've got, you've got a lot of, you know, the boomer generation, even the older Gen X generation, where they're sitting on homes they've appreciated 40, 50, 60% in the last 6 or 8 years, and they want all of that, and there's just not a lot of buyers that can afford those homes right now. So things change as rates come down. There's more opportunity for those sellers to sell those homes and buyers to be able to afford them. So we'll see. I think we're still going in a good direction. I think rates are slowly kind of coming down. Listen, we read the Fed minutes today that said, a lot of the board members said, hey, I support a cut next month. Well, not in August, but like September. And some supported a cut even in July. Well, most are supporting the cuts in September and October. So that kind of helped our market today.
Well, great, Rich. Thanks for making me smart on that. And like you mentioned in your daily message to our company here at Network Funding, and you're always trying to train up our people here. What's the message that you have for our people as we look at all these indicators that you can share with the rest of us out here?
Well, one, I mean, we should always be looking to team up with builders. So there's a lot of great builders that are selling properties in a price range for first-time home buyers, and they're doing a lot of concessions. They're buying down interest rates. They're doing a lot of great things to put young home buyers in their homes. So that's one place you need to look. Also, originators, you need to understand your products and what's available to you. That is so important because there's a lot of DPA product on the market that's going to help first-time home buyers. There's a lot of state and local grants in your city, your county, your state. There's a lot of those that'll help with down payments or closing cost assistance. You just need to know what tools are in your toolbox right now. And if you're looking in your toolbox and seeing limited tools, you need to be talking to Network Funding, because we carry as many as we possibly can to help our borrowers and our referral partners close some homes.
That's good, Rich. And I know some of those people here that are utilizing those tools are actually seeing a lot of growth in their business and their branches right now. And so that's been great news for us. If you're out there looking for a place where you can grow, click the grow link below and we'll get you all the information about the best network in mortgages. Rich, any final thoughts on this or anything else going into the weekend?
I hope everybody has a great weekend. This piece that we're talking about was, kind of true. I would give it a 3 out of 5. But things are not as bad as it seems. Keep in mind, people are ultra qualified today that are buying homes. It's not like 2008 and 9 when things go sideways because people overbought and on stated income and adjustable rate mortgages and things that cause that. We're not there today. Right now, today, we're sitting on, even people that might be struggling making their payments, they're sitting on equity. So if something were to go bad, it's not going to be a foreclosure. They're just going to sell. So things are overall pretty good and getting better. So I'm really looking forward to the future here.
Well, Rich, I appreciate your perspective as a longtime veteran of the industry, and appreciate everyone out there watching and listening wherever you are. We'll see you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.